let's talk about Etsy fees. This is kind of an expansion to my last video about pricing your products for Etsy. I kind of glossed over the actual fees part because they were included in the calculator that I talked about. So today we're going to explain exactly what they are. It's important to understand exactly where your money is going and how much you need to account for the fees in your pricing. Howdy friends, my name is Abby and this is Type 9 Studio, where I help you start and grow your Etsy shop. I've been a full-time seller for 1.5 years. I'm filming this video during the day. Who am I? So many people are like, Etsy's fees are terrible, they take too much money, and it's like, do it then. Go ahead and list your products somewhere else besides Etsy and let me know how the fees are. I'll wait. The main point of this video is to educate current and future Etsy sellers about the actual fees themselves. I've done the math for my shop and my current sales volume versus having a Shopify, and Etsy is actually significantly cheaper. But this will vary based on your average item cost, your sales volume, how you draw traffic on your own, a bunch of different factors. And Etsy and Shopify have completely different purposes, so it's kind of irrelevant. Let me know if you want to see a video about the difference. Etsy's fees are more than fair in my opinion, but I'll save all of that explanation for a later time. The problem with Etsy's fees though is that they don't make it easy to figure out exactly what they are. There is nowhere that I could find on any of Etsy's help articles and the seller handbook or anything. The seller handbook doesn't even mention it. It's only in the help articles. Exactly what the fees are, like all in one place. You have to go to different articles for the different fees, so that's kind of irritating. So anyways, let's get into the facts. So the fees themselves are pretty straightforward, even if finding them isn't. And just a disclaimer, this is for Etsy shops in the United States. I do not know about other countries. You can find these fees listed on Etsy's website in the help articles. I'll link to them below where they tell the different fees for different countries. You can see all of the fees and credits to your account when you go to your shop manager and click on finances and then the payment account, and that will show you like a little bit towards the bottom exactly what is being charged to your account so you know what's going on. So I'll be referencing that payment account page a lot throughout the rest of the video. So the very first thing is the listing fee. This is 20 cents to just post a listing, no matter the quantity that you have in that listing. This is the only fee that's charged up front unless you pay for extras like Etsy Plus or Etsy Ads, which I'll explain later on in the video. The 20-cent listing fee is also charged when you make a sale and you have additional stock of that item. So each individual item will have the listing fee applied to it until that item sells out. So when someone makes a purchase on your shop, let's pretend that you sell rings just as an example. So if you have one listing and you have 2 rings in stock, you pay the 20 cents up front to post that listing, but then if someone buys one of the rings, then you'll get charged the 20 cents a second time to relist the second ring. This fee will show up in your payment account as auto renew sold or auto renew multi-quantity if you sell more than one of the same item. So let's say you have 5 rings in stock and somebody orders 2. So you already paid the 20 cents for the first ring when you made the listing, and then you'll pay again for the second ring that sold, but then you'll also have another charge to relist that listing for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th ring that haven't sold yet. This is the hardest part to understand, I think, on the payment account page, but basically you just pay 20 cents on each individual item. From what I understand, this is so you can't like get around paying the fee if you list items like all in one listing versus having each one in a separate listing. Like it's all the same no matter how you do it. So if say you have 10 items total to list, it's the same price no matter if you put them all in the same listing or if you have 10 separate listings. Hopefully that helps explain it a little bit. I don't know. You'll also notice an expiration date on your listings, and when you post one, it'll tell you when it's going to expire. Each listing is good for 4 months with the first 20-cent listing fee. So if you sell something, then that expiration date resets. When you make a listing, you can choose to have it auto-renew or manually renew when it expires. So if it doesn't sell in the 4 months and you have it set to auto-renew, you'll automatically be charged another 20 cents to relist it for 4 more months. Unless you have it set to manually renew, then it won't. It'll just deactivate. And then at that point, you can physically go back in and renew it if you want. So in case you didn't know this, you can actually make private listings. If somebody messages you about doing like a custom order, you can make a private listing through the messages. And this is still subject to the 20-cent fee. However, you do not pay this fee until the item sells. which is really nice because a lot of the time, especially for me, I don't know if anybody else experiences this, I'm sure they do, but you'll make a custom listing and then the person just never buys it. Well, then you can't sell it to anybody else because it's a private listing. So it's nice that you don't have to pay it until they actually buy the listing, you know. But the listing fee is a prime example of why I always suggest to make bundle listings. You'll still have the transaction and processing fees like I'll mention in a minute, but for each bundled item, you save the 20-cent listing fee. So like in my shop, I have mask and scrunchie bundles. So if somebody buys one of those, I save 20 cents by having them together. All right, the next one is the transaction fee. I would consider this to be like Etsy's cut of the sale. And Etsy is a business as well, and they are providing us with a service to list our products, and also they do a lot of advertising and give us access to their millions of built-in customers. So the transaction fee is 5% of the total sale. It's listed in your payment account as transaction. This fee is also charged on top of the shipping cost as well, since it's 5% of whatever the customer pays. But the 5% that's on top of the shipping cost specifically is listed in a separate line in the payment account. I actually made a mistake in my last video about pricing because I talked about the Etsy fee calculator that I use, and I said I don't use the shipping section of the calculator because I completely forgot that they charge the 5% on top of the shipping, so I wasn't accounting for it. So definitely account for that 5% on top of the shipping. For my average order, it's about 15 to 20 cents, so it's not that big of a deal, but it can add up. Hi, it's me from the future popping on again to correct myself. Listen, it's been a while since I've set up my shop like from scratch, and some things have changed during that process. So I'm going to correct something that I said in my last video. I put it in the pinned comment under that. Hopefully people read it. So here's correct and updated information about the payment processing fee. So no matter where you sell, if it's in person or online, through any platform, you're going to have payment processing fees. That's just how banks and credit cards work. Unless you're doing like an extremely high volume of sales, this fee is generally the same no matter which platform you use. So like Etsy, Shopify, Square, Stripe, PayPal goods and services, all of those are pretty much the same. So my correction was that there actually used to be two different payment methods on Etsy. So they had PayPal and then they had Etsy payments, and you didn't have to sign up for both, but now you have to sign up for Etsy payments and verify your account to sell on Etsy, period. There is no PayPal option. It's all integrated into Etsy payments. So the payment processing fee across the board now is 3% plus 25 cents. And this is shown in your payment account in the same line as the purchase. So it will show the total sale and then the fee in red and then the net sale amount and then your like running total of how much is in your account. So unlike the transaction fee, the 5% one, this applies to the entire sale, like the total amount that the customer paid, including taxes and shipping, since it's the total amount that the payment was processed for. So that was like the base level, applies to everyone fees, but let's talk about the extras that you may encounter or may choose to encounter. First one is Etsy offsite ads. Oh. So I honestly hate Etsy offsite ads. My suggestion is to turn them off if you still can. If you make over $10,000 in revenue in a year, you can't turn them off. So do it while you can. If you've never heard of the offsite ads, let me tell you about it. You might have seen these ads while you're browsing like Facebook and Instagram and stuff, but basically Etsy will promote your listings on other websites like on Google or Facebook, Instagram, and wherever else you can see ads. And this doesn't cost you a fee up front, but if you make a sale from one of these ads, then you do pay a fee. This is different from the regular Etsy ads where you have to pay per click. This is just only if you make a sale. So it sounds great in theory, but the fee for shops that make under $10,000 in revenue is 15%. Yeah. And the fee for shops that are making over $10,000 is 12%. So, gee, thanks. I believe I've only made one sale from offsite ads. I think that was even before I reached the 10K threshold. And I haven't heard many other shops say that they make regular sales this way. It's only like one or two here and there. So it's not a huge deal, but it's definitely quite a surprise if you're not expecting it. So if you want to have this feature on, or if you're forced to like I am, it's a great idea to have your profit margin high enough to where you won't lose money if you get a sale from it. Then we have regular old Etsy ads. So I actually don't recommend using Etsy ads if you are brand new or have very, very few sales. I can do a whole separate video on that, but here's a quick rundown of how Etsy ads work. So to run Etsy ads, you actually get to set your own daily budget. Once you turn the ads on, Etsy will feature your listings higher up in search while you still have budget left for the day, and you pay per click on your ad listings, and this will never exceed your set daily budget. The pay per click rate will vary greatly depending on your niche and what search term you're showing up in, the amount of other listings in that category. So it's not a set number, and each item is going to be different. And your budget for the day may get spent down to the penny, and it may not. You may pay like less than your daily budget. So a very, very brief explanation of why I don't recommend this for new shops. Etsy ads only guarantee views and not sales. If your views on your items don't already convert to sales, then bringing more traffic is not going to help that problem. It's just going to make it worse, and it's a waste of money. Again, I can do more about that in a future video. Give this one a thumbs up and leave a comment and let me know if you want to see a video all about Etsy ads. The next I wanted to talk about a few add-on services that Etsy has. They actually don't promote these much, so you may not have heard of them. The first one is Etsy Plus. Etsy Plus costs $10 a month, and it has some decent benefits like ad and listing fee credits. I think you get $5 per month in ad credit and some like listing credits. I can't remember how many, I don't want to say and be wrong. You can get slightly more customization on your storefront, like you can add more pictures and link the pictures to the actual item or the shop section instead of just having the one banner. And something that I would be interested in would be the restock request function. I've personally never used it, but also like Etsy ads and other features, I would not suggest you use them unless you're already making decent sales, because some of the features are not really going to help if you don't already have some sales coming in. Like the restock request is kind of pointless if you're not selling out of things, you know. I believe the last thing is Etsy Pattern. I hadn't looked too much into this either prior to researching for this video. It's basically just like a Shopify site, but it's connected to your Etsy. So like when somebody goes to visit this site, it looks like your own website and not Etsy, you know? You can have a custom domain connected to it, but I actually have a custom domain connected to my Etsy shop, so don't need Pattern for that. But everything on the Pattern website is still connected to Etsy's back end, and you can make separate listings for Pattern and for your regular Etsy shop. This costs $15 per month, and you also have to pay for a custom domain if you want one, or I think they give you a default domain to use if you don't want to make your own. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Just from what I've seen other Etsy sellers, like I've visited their shops who have a Pattern, and they don't look as professional as Shopify websites. I would not really suggest Pattern if you're wanting to like venture off of Etsy and have your own presence outside of Etsy. It is cheaper per month than Shopify, I'll give them that, but it is not as customizable as Shopify, and you are still subject to Etsy's rules and other fees on top of the $15. So coming back on to update about some things that I found with Pattern. I was under the impression that Pattern was basically just the same as regular Etsy marketplace, but with the extra fee for selling like on a separate channel, like a separate website. So for the listing fee, like the 20-cent fee, you still have that fee if you list items on both your regular Etsy and on Pattern, but there is no listing fee if you just put things on Pattern. And there's also no transaction fee on Pattern as well, so there's no 5% fee on purchases made through your Pattern site. So that could make it cheaper than somewhere like Shopify if you're driving your own traffic to it, but you are still subject to Etsy's rules and what you can list on there. So I hope this was helpful, and I believe that is all of the Etsy fees that you need to know about. I don't know if there are any more that I didn't mention. Unless you are in a different country, I think different countries have like taxes that you have to pay to Etsy, because I've seen people in my TikTok comments saying that Etsy charges them a lot of taxes. And I'm like, I don't get charged taxes by Etsy as a seller in the US. So I think from what I saw on those articles that I was reading, like other countries have some kind of a tax that the seller has to pay, because here like the buyer pays the sales tax, and if I sell to like the EU, the buyer pays the VAT. So I don't know. So leave a comment and let me know if you have any other questions or suggestions for future videos, like topics you want me to talk about. I'm trying to do like shorter videos this week and next week because I'm getting ready for a craft show. As you can see, I've got all this junk in the background. I'm trying to get ready, like hurrying, and I don't have time to edit like hour-long videos. Just a quick announcement at the end of this video. I know I said I don't want to edit longer videos. I'm sorry, future me. A lot of you have asked me to do Etsy shop reviews, and I am planning to do that once this first craft show is over. And I will have information about that posted on my TikTok and Instagram, and I'll make another announcement here on YouTube once that is all ready to go. It is not going to be free, just fair warning, because there's no way that I can do that for free because it is a lot of time, and if I did it for free it would be like a quick TikTok video and I couldn't do it well in a short amount of time. So I want to like actually help and be helpful, and that's going to take a lot of my time, so I think it's worth it. Like if I had to start over, I would definitely pay somebody to like tell me what's up, you know. And that is going to be through Ko-Fi. I will leave my Ko-Fi link in the description box. It is not filled out or anything. I haven't set up anything on it. Like I think I can take like donations on there, like the buy me a coffee thing. So if you want to do that, I'm not going to stop you. I completely forgot that I set this up, but if you go to my website, type9studio.com, it's on the like coming soon mode, but you can put your email address in and sign up for my email list, and apparently people have been signing up for my email list and I didn't know. So thank you if you went there and did that. So I will send out an email as well when that is ready. Well, I'll send out an email when Ko-Fi is ready and when the website is up, which is going to be probably another month or so, maybe 2. Anyways, this video is long enough. If you've watched this whole video and you haven't subscribed yet, you might as well. I do new videos every Wednesday and Saturday all about how to grow your Etsy shop. You can follow me on TikTok and Instagram as well, both at Type9Studio. And I will see you in the next one and in the comments. Bye.